Hi, and welcome to my studio. This is Sherrie Siemens, and this is a video for my favorite things. Today I want to show you how I made these little home decor kind of flowers that I use to decorate a candle for some of my Christmas decorating. And I am using the poinsettia die from My Favorite Things. And I've done a few different cutouts, and I'll show you how I put this together. So I'm going to start out with the largest cutout here and some scrap paper, and I'm going to use my Copic airbrush system to color the flowers themselves. So I've got RV10 and I'm just putting it in there, and then I use a paper piercer to kind of help hold down things for me when I'm using my airbrush system. I like to start off my project as well and then work my way on, so I kind of spray just to know where I'm spraying and then move on to my project. This RV10 is just going to give a very pale pink coat to my white paper. Then I'm going to switch colors and go to R39. And here I'm going to just color the tips. So I'm going to start off my project and then work my way on. Now that was really quick, and it dries very quickly, so I can move along to my next step right away, and that is applying coats of UTE to this flower. So I'm going to grab a different piece of paper here that I've used before just for scrap, and I'm going to take my Versamark ink pad and just do a full coating onto the whole surface so that the whole surface will pick up the embossing powder. Alright, that should be good. Now I've got another piece of scrap paper. You can see how much scrap paper I use, and just pouring this ultra thick embossing powder over coating the whole surface of my die. Shake off any extra. I'll set that aside. And then make sure you're working on a heat resistant surface, which I am with this craft mat. And grab my paper piercer again so it doesn't fly away on me, and I'm just going to heat emboss it. Alright, and the first coat will look a little bit blotchy. The coverage of the ultra thick embossing powder won't cover it entirely. It'll look a little spotty. So then I go in with a second coat. So pull out that scrap paper again and make sure your embossing powder is pretty dry, which it is already. So, and then just go over it again with your ink pad. Alright, and then sprinkle your embossing powder again. go. That should be good. And heat emboss once more. You should get a much more even coat the second time around, and just give it a little bit to cool and then pick it up, and then while it's still a little bit warm, you can hold the middle with your thumb and then just use your other hand to curl the petals going around. The other thing you could do is you could actually stick this in the freezer and let the embossing powder get really cold and hard, and then do this and you'll get a crackle in every place that you bend the petal. Alright, so that's what your finished die should look like. Now I have one from earlier that I have done, and here's the small one. For the centers, I cut out just out of some foil. I doubled up some foil and cut out the little centerpiece there. So in order to put it together, I'm going to grab my mouse pad and then I'm going to take my 3 dies and stack them, and the centerpiece as well. And I'm just going to pierce a hole through all of them, all the way through, so it's a nice thick hole. And I'm just going to put a little pin in it to hold it together while I move on to the ribbon portion. So that's what the flower is going to look like. And then I thought this is the candle that I'm using, and I thought it would be great if I did just kind of a colored ribbon around the base and then tacked my flower onto that. So I've got some ribbon, and I'll pull out this sheet of paper again. In order to get everything to match nicely, I'll grab that RV10 that I was using to color the base of my flowers, and I'm just going to give my ribbon a color here. And do this side as well. Alright, and then to the back side, I'm just going to put on some double-sided tape. This is Express-It tape, and I'm just going to it's nice because it just finger tears like that, and you want to make sure that your edges are nice and clean looking. And then I often use my piercer to pull off the top side of the tape whenever I'm using double-sided tape. And then I'm going to lay my candle down. Kind of get it the width that I want on one side. As you can see, it's a used candle, but it's a really pretty smelling one. All right, and then I thought what I would do to decorate is just add a few of these by piercing into the wax and therefore into the candle. Just with the pins like this. So I'm going to make various colors and sizes, and then I can shape them how I like. But when I'm done, this will stand really nice. I've got a little stand, and you'll be able to see the finished project on my blog as well. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.